episode 89 of The Breakthrough. How's it going? We got A Kruse on. How's it going, man? So where can people find you?
It's your boy A Kruse. You can find me everywhere. I'm on all major streaming platforms. I'm on YouTube. I'm on SoundCloud. Anywhere you can look up music, you can find A Kruse at.
Hey, bet. So who were your initial inspirations when you were growing up, both musically and outside of music?
All right. So growing up, musically, I listened to a lot of DMX. My dad had
Interesting.
Yeah, my dad used to listen to a lot of DMX. Growing up, it was DMX, believe it or not, a lot of Ja Rule. And then I had all sisters growing up and stuff. So R&B was a huge influence, all the sad music, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. And who would you say was your biggest R&B influence if you had to pick one?
Honestly, man, Aaliyah, man. I rock with Aaliyah heavy. R.I.P.
Yeah, I was going to say rest in peace, bro.
Yeah.
There's five.
Yeah, she's dope.
On another level, too.
For real.
So what was life before music with you? What were you doing? What was the lifestyle? Was it always music or was there something before?
Yeah, I was honestly gonna say, man, honestly, I can't even think about life before music because even for as far as I can remember, my mom, growing up Saturday, mom and dad all from work, cleaning up the house, got music blasting. They always was on the new music, albums coming out. 50 Cent was a huge album, Get Rich or Die Trying, man. When that came out, that was huge. I used to know that from front to back. So yeah, I can't even think about a time where music wasn't involved. It was always involved in some way. Even in school, I had a band. I used to play the drums. Wasn't good at it, but music was always involved in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. You take those steps when you're younger to then come you are. So it doing the drums back when younger, listening to all of those albums like 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, it shaped you into now the artist who are you feel today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So when did you start pushing your music?
What was that?
When did you start pushing your music officially?
So
as A Kruse.
All right. So I honestly started taking music serious as A Kruse and really you know what? Let's really take it serious and see what could happen. It was October 24th, 2019. And the reason why I remember that date is just simply because that was the day that I just put out the first song on major streaming platforms. And I was like, I'm going to take it serious from this day on. There's literally no other significance to that date. It just always sticks to me because that's the day that I'll remember, you know what? That's the day I'm taking it serious.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's dope. And that was when you first released, was it No Relatives, right?
It was No Relatives.
Okay, so talk about going through the process of writing No Relatives. What really sparked you to be like, all right, this is going to be the first official release?
Man, I wish I knew, man. It just was I just heard the beat, I just wrote it, and just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put it out. I just felt like it was a good song. It was just something to get my feet wet. It wasn't nothing that I went crazy, bars or, the concept was, so insane or, the flow patterns was crazy. It was just something that, I'm feeling it. I'm gonna put it out. Let's go from here. And I just, it was just more of a feeling.
Yeah. Course, and you always need a starting point and something that good of a starting point just shows you how much potential you have to come, or you had to come, and you're starting to show now with everything that you've been releasing since.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, bro. So then you have the kind of a series of the Only Boys. You got part 1 and part 2. So talk about that, because that was when I first heard you, and it really caught my attention with your music.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, those are probably one of my favorite. Those are probably two of my favorite records right there. Um, Only Boy and Only Boy Two. It was basically like before I came. So when I decided that I wanted to rap, right, there was a few things that I had to take into consideration. Um, One of them was rap beef. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that's just inevitable. It doesn't matter if I make R&B songs all day, if I make songs for the ladies all day. You know, rap beef is just something that you just it's inevitable to skip on. You know, that's part of the culture and it's just something that you'll get into. So I kind of took a page out of Eminem's book and it was like, you know, like 8 Mile where he, you know, kind of exposed his own like dirty laundry type thing. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna come clean on a few things. So Only Boy was my way to do that. You know, like everybody goes through things. You know, I am an only boy. That's obviously. Um, but it was just my way of venting and getting out some real stuff. You know, like everybody. Everybody want. Everybody's into like the club bangers and whatever else they're into. But it was important for me in the beginning to be vulnerable and almost be transparent and give people like a real, it's relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can talk about money, cars, and a bunch of things, but if I come through the gate and I give something that people can relate to, it kind of would make them attracted to you a little bit more. Like, he's an everyday guy like us. Like I feel connected to him almost. You feel what I'm saying? So it was just important for me to get like that off like in the beginning.
100%, bro. And that was the thing. When you sent me Only Boy, and I go in, and I'm sitting there and at the CCSU cafeteria, and I'm listening, and I feel like I'm starting to learn, like, understand you as an artist. And then by the time the song was finished, it left me with an impression of, all right, this is A Kruse as an artist. This is who I should expect when he says he's about to come on the mic. And not a lot of artists do that to me, because there are a lot of people that just funnel through this, say the same things in a different way on their songs, and it's still dope. I love that music. It doesn't mean I don't like it. But when you got that content and that substance that you had, I remember, I noticed, and you put a page in my mind, in my memory. So I'm like, okay, that's that artist, and this is what he sounds like.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that for real.
Of course, bro. So what was like the initial reaction as you started releasing more content? What were your local friends like, the ones that weren't there, a part of the journey?
So the ones that weren't a part of the journey, everyone was pretty all right. So it's a bunch of mixed reactions. So some people are like, okay, we like what we hear, but there's a but. He has to prove himself. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I can understand that. I can understand that. Then there were some people that was like, I like it. I'm gonna keep up with it. I'm gonna listen to everything, and eventually became fans after a few records. Especially with the consistency.
Yeah.
Um, and and then some people just was waiting on it. Like honestly, some people were just waiting on it. A few friends that knew like that weren't even a part of the process, but knew that I could rap. They were just waiting on it. They were just waiting patiently, saying it was about time. Or, like they've obviously heard me a few times. So, hearing the first few records, it was just like, oh yeah, I always knew this was in you. I'm waiting for more. So.
Yeah, and I think that basically sums it up for a lot of people. That's going to be the reaction. You're going to have the friends that are super supportive and like are like, yo, I'm going to make sure to like repost your song every time. There's going to be the people that are like, yo, keep doing what you're doing. And, they may not contact you during every time you release, but they're going to at least be conscious of what you're doing. And then there's going to be the people that still kind of sleep in, might give you a little bit of animosity because they remember you as your real full government name, not as your artist name. So it's hard for them to realize that they got to look at you through that light now. So, it just comes with it. And I think you said it best. And I'm glad that you understand that to some, you still have to prove it. And that should just only motivate you in the most positive light. So I'm Yeah, I'm glad that you're already thinking about that. So let's actually, before we get into the project, I wanted to talk about you were featured on a song on Bird's project, the Stay Low project,
Mm-hmm.
and you were on the song Bucket. So can you talk about how this song and collaboration came to fruition?
Oh man, Bird's my brother. That's my brother right there. It probably just came from us just chilling on a random day, just listening to music, heard it, and I was like, oh, let me put a verse on that real quick. He rocked with it. This was my pre not cussing day, so I probably had a few cuss words, swear words here and there on that, but I tightened that up now. Yeah, that's my brother right there. So that's that chemistry, me and him, like that's I do that with my eyes closed, man. Me and him, that's we two peas in a pod.
That's so great to hear. Yeah, when you have those connections, especially with somebody that's on the status of just a brother to you, it's so easy to just get that vibe going and create magic. With other people, you kind of got to like give it some time, smoke a blunt or something, and get the vibe going. But with your boys, it's like, all right, we're locked in. Let's start now.
Yeah, yeah, whenever. Snap of a finger. Let's work.
See, that's beautiful. All right, so let's get into the project. So let's go through the concept of the name and the cover art a little. So just explain whatever you can.
So the project is called Respect the Cruise. Um, the basic name from it was just me. You know, I started out putting songs on major streaming platforms. I took a break from that and I started flooding SoundCloud. The reason for that was I wanted to build, you know, a little bit of a fan base, you know, see what fans that I can gather up, you know, so I could, you know, come back to the major streaming platforms. I decided to come back to the major streaming platforms with 3 singles that came out before Respect the Cruise, but it was basically in rollout for Respect the Cruise. It's basically my way of like just just that respecting Kruse and not just me as the person, like respecting Kruse as the artist, Kruse as the brand, Kruse as, you know, the figure, Kruse, just that. And that's basically what I wanted to give with the project. You know, there's songs on there. It's not just, you know, me freestyling or, you know, giving bars on top of an industry beat. It's not just me reacting to something and giving my reaction and putting it out. Like it's actual songs on there, which I feel like I was lacking with giving people, especially, you know, people that wanted it. People wanted songs. So it's an offering of 6 songs. You know, I still got, you know, some hip hop things on there. I'm still barring out. But I just wanted to give them content and content that was like actually respectable. Like I say respect the Cruise and I like actually mean it. And you know, I tried to cross off everything across the board. There's no cusses on it. You know, it's radio ready, like radio ready from the jump. That's something that, you know,
So
is
people
respectable.
don't realize how important that is.
Ex-
That right there, when you
Crazy.
said that, that, you know, for you to be able to put your song out on the radio, no changes, sounding exactly like how you're going to hear it in the club, will make it so it's just going to be able to be replayed so easily because it sounds so much better just being normal instead of being like, for example, I watched the Woo music video with Roddy Ricch, Pop Smoke, and 50 Cent, and it sounded like half the video of the like one that was trending was bleeped out, or not even bleeped out, but you know they
Yeah,
muted it, and you know it just sucks when we have to do that because that's regulation. But
right.
when you master it like how you did, beautiful. I just wanted to point that out. Keep going.
Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, it lets them appreciate it differently too. You can enjoy the music everywhere, anywhere. You know, like there's certain people, you know, that go to church or you know, whatever the case may be, that just, you know, don't want to hear, you know, the all the swear words and stuff. So I just decided to opt out and just, you know, I got a bunch of things to get off my chest. You know, I got a story to tell. I'm creative enough to, to take that out. So that was something that I decided to do.
Love it. Awesome. So when can the listeners expect the project to come out?
So Respect the Cruise will be out everywhere, July 31st, everywhere that you can imagine.
Okay. So by the time they're listening to this, this will be out and they
It
can
will
go
be
to
out.
the streaming services. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So where do you go to work on the project? Or did you go to one specific studio? Was it in home? What were your choices?
Um, I actually recorded this album, this project in full, at Frank Graham Studio, behind the sound.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Shout out to
Nice.
Frank, by the way.
Frank is he's a legend. I remember he was actually probably other than Chris Webby, he was the first CT artist that I ever heard of. And I remember hearing his song about New London, and I was like, yo, this is fire. And I was like, this is just like right around, right over the bridge for me, because I live in Ledridge. So, just go right past Groton, you're already in New London. So it was just cool to see. Before I learned about the whole scene, it was cool to see somebody close by doing something so big. So
Yeah,
definitely shout
man,
out.
he's a good guy, man. That's a good guy.
And that's awesome that he has the studio because he's giving opportunities to young people like you so you can go in and make a awesome. So let's go in. We're gonna go. I got some questions for each song. So we're gonna start with the intro, which is "Tell It," correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I found this really powerful. I really like this track. What I wanted to ask, because this was very interesting. Why did you want the first thing for people to hear on the project to be the electric guitar coming in?
Um, it just catches your attention. You hear that and you want to be tuned in. Like it's just like, wait a minute, this sounds different. This sounds strong. Like, that mixed with the cover art and just what I'm saying on it just sounds very strong, very bold, very like, like I'm standing on this.
Yeah. Oh, 100. And that's the feeling I got from it too. Because I put on my headphones and I sat down and I was like, all right, let me listen to this all the way through. And first song comes on, Tell It. And I hear that guitar and I'm like, and I instantly felt like I was in respect to A Kruse.
Yes. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Of course. So in the song, you talk about doors opened up through music. So can you dive into that a little bit more?
Yeah. So with starting music, right? I was supposed to perform at South by Southwest. Unfortunately, it got canceled. So that was a door that opened up for me. And just like conversation, like honestly, like I got staples in the town just even mentioning my name musically. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that's very important to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get some sort of recognition from people. And if it's one thing to get it from people online, through social media or whatever, but it's another thing to get it from staples, from, people that other people respect highly in your own town. That's something special. So, that was one of the doors that opened up, just features. I've worked on a few features. I got into a little squabble with a Grammy nominated producer. That was fun. Things that just come with just being an actual artist though, learning more than anything. The learning is more important than anything, honestly. The lessons that you could learn with being in this game are things that are really, really valuable that you could take with you and you could apply in different aspects of your life. And that's like very, very important.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. That's awesome. And you also dive into it a little bit more, talking about how if you don't live to tell it, you just hope that your art will. So especially nowadays that we just had Juice WRLD go #1 in the posthumous album, as well as Pop Smoke and XXXTentacion, all going #1s. I'm pretty sure with their posthumous album, or posthumous. So can you just talk about how art really transcends a physical life?
Art lasts forever. It's something that's, physically there. Regardless, I could make a sculpture of anything. Somebody could take a photo of it. That photo will last forever. somebody could draw that after. It's things that, so there's two things about that. So one is the actual understanding of the art. So the art aspect is literally that. So art to me are things that like will last again forever. It doesn't mean someone that can draw artistically and make art. You know what I'm saying? Different people have different crafts, and their craft is art. So having having art is very important, man. It's like if I'm not here no longer, I have something that I created and I brought to the world, and it's something that they could look at and remember me. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then the not living to tell it part, that just is, again, that's just, if I don't live to tell it, I hope that my art will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that, and it happens almost all the time. You see it all the time. Like you just said, they go #1 after, and I'm not saying that they would have not gone #1 if they were here.
But, yeah, of course. They were all great artists anyway.
Right.
So.
Taking nothing away from them. It's just, like, I feel like when you're no longer here, people look at what you had that was here, and the value of it is different. What they take from it is different. And with this being my first, this is my first project. So this is my first offering of a project to the world.
Yeah.
If I'm no longer here, I wanted this project to be something that I'm proud of. You know what I'm saying? I wanted this project to be something that, if I put it out and I'm no longer here, right? And if everybody else listens to it, I want them to have that feeling of, again, respecting the Kruse, like, wow, we respect this guy because of what he did. And I'm not saying that this project is the best project in the world or anything like that, but I just really feel like it's a very respectable project. Debut, nonetheless.
Yeah. It encapsulates who you are too, which Absolutely. Is the main point. Okay, so transitioning into track 2, which is Dying to Live. Great title, by the way. You say when you go on the road, you want to bring your team along, and that's your close friends. So explain to the listeners why this is really important to you and to others in your situation.
Yeah, man. I said, and if I hit the road, I'ma hire all my bros. It's your brothers or your family, right? Everybody got friends that they call brothers that is more like family. If I become rich, I become famous, I'm whatever. I'm on a different platform. I'm in a different, I'm in a different position, right? It would mean more to me to bring the people that's around me now there with me, opposed to hire new people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they might have to work a little bit harder. They might have roles and positions and things like that, but I'm already comfortable with these people. You know what I'm saying? Even if I have to break bread with them, I'm breaking bread with people, with family. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not breaking bread with a stranger that I just met and I just hired and I just wrote them a paycheck. Like, this is family. I'm comfortable with them. They know me. And I just feel like it's if you listen, everybody has people around them that care about them.
Yeah.
If you can't find people around you that care about you, that can contribute to what you're doing, then these people don't really care about you. Everybody can find a role and a position. So if I hit the road, I'm gonna hire all my bros. I feel like all my friends and all my friends that I call bros are valuable pieces to who I am. I'm putting them in a position where they're now they're giving something out.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. So it's just like, it's why wouldn't you want to work with your brothers?
Exactly. No, I completely. I saw something, I think it was Young Thug who said it, or they were discussing about Young Thug's situation, and he was basically just like, why would I not want, like he was saying for Gunna, for example, like, why would I not want my brother to be able to go out there and get a new home for his mom? Why wouldn't I want to see that?
Why?
And if you can help him get that for his mom,
why not?
Feeling exactly.
Like,
why not?
Because a lot of people, all right, so a lot of people don't have good friends around them. They're just with the, you know, they're just around them for whatever they can contribute or things like that. So what that creates is envy because of whatever you can contribute. You can contribute this, you can contribute this, you can contribute this, but nobody can contribute it together. So it becomes envy. So once, you know, someone does that, it becomes hate. You don't want your you know, your brother, quote unquote, to be in a better position. You don't want to help them out. It becomes hate and an envious thing, you know, like everybody doesn't, some people don't know how to put their minds together to create a machine. They just want
Yeah,
it for themselves.
exactly. They see their boy get retweeted by a big star, and then they feel some type of way because they're not the one who got retweeted.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So another great line that stood out to me was that you said, "Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle." You had said the marathon is about pace. So dive into that part as well.
Yeah, that was definitely a nod to Nipsey, man. R.I.P. to Nipsey. It's definitely a nod to him. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. You could win the race, but the marathon's about pace. You know, some people want that overnight success. Some people want that quick, you know, get rich quick scheme, but not thinking about the backlash of it. I really want to be an everlasting artist. I don't want to be here today and gone tomorrow. I really want to be here for 5, 10, 15 years. Like I want, and not even me as a person, but you know, like A Kruse. Like I want A Kruse to be involved somehow, whether it's me creating the music or me writing the music and someone else. Like it's not for me. This music thing has been, like I said, I can't remember a time where music wasn't involved. So
Yeah,
it's like I can't see my life without music from this point.
I completely understand. Yeah, it's like you've already gone so far. There's no way of turning back, and there's no way of even conceptualizing the fact to turn back.
Absolutely, I can't.
I feel that. So another thing you talked about was your uncle Lewis's influence. So can you tie this into the name of the title and how you're just staying humble and paying homage to everybody?
Yeah, man. R.I.P. to my uncle Lewis. He was just a great guy. Passed away when I was real young. But it was just great vibes, and I just felt like sometimes he's watching over me and stuff. So sometimes I look to the sky, and although I don't see his face, I see it, just an image of him. I don't know if that, you know, makes sense, but you know,
It does.
sometimes, yeah, you know, sometimes you can feel you feel something rather than see it. So definitely, I feel like he's with me sometimes.
It's that energy instead.
Absolutely, absolutely. And come to find out, you know, like his you know, he's got, you know, family out in Mass and stuff, and you know, his grandchildren are my cousins and stuff. Come to find out, you know, they make music and stuff too, and I'm like, oh shoot, like look at that. Like I wish he was here to see all
Yeah.
this, for real.
He would love to see it.
Trust me, he would. He would.
And think about it. This is what I think about my boys who have passed. I view it as actually this was from Chris Webby's song. He said, I'm paraphrasing. He said along the lines of, "And I saved you a seat in the balcony seats, basically up in heaven. You're able." All your lost boys, family members, they're watching you from the balcony seats. So that's what I always try to think. Like no matter what I'm doing, I have the audience of my guardian angels sitting there and watching at all times.
Sometimes they're not even watching. Sometimes they right there on the stage with you.
Exactly. See, I fuck with that. I fuck with that a lot.
Oh, for real.
Awesome. So now we're gonna go into the third song, which is "Stuck in My Ways." So, what I wanted to talk about is there are a lot of people who don't realize that getting in a relationship with a content creator means that you're also getting in a relationship with the content itself. So for the viewers who are trying to balance their craft as well as a relationship, where is a easy medium to where you can let them know, hey, I'm an artist, so this is important to me. I have to focus on it, but I still want to be there for you.
All right, so ultimately that's up to them. I mean, they see I'm dedicated to it. They see, you know, anybody that comes into my life from this point on, they see what I'm about. So it's up to them if they're willing to, you know, deal with it or not. I can't put this music to the side. I can't. I'm not willing to. That's something that people will have to understand. You know, even like, you know, family members and stuff like that. You know, I love everybody, but you know, I'm trying to do this for us. You know, this isn't a me thing. So you know, sometimes, you know, especially like with the, you know, getting this whole rollout for this tape, staying busy. I've missed out on birthdays. I've missed out on, you know, seeing people. I've missed out on a lot, and you know, I can only imagine everything that does come with it once you get to the real main stage. So it's just it's I feel like me doing this right now is good
Yeah.
preparation for the ones around me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I ever do get to that top, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Makes so much sense, especially like you gotta have this stepping stones. You can't just go full in and, you know, experience the amount of designated time you're going to need when you go into, you know, your big famous A-list celebrity. Boom, that'd be overwhelming too much. But
Right.
when you start here and you realize, all right, you need to designate this much time for studio time, you need to have the rollout planned out with your entire crew. So you got to have meetings with your crew. You have to make sure the songs are the exact songs with the exact mix, mastering. You have to package it all, especially as somebody that's like independent technically. It's like you and your team are who's packaging the whole entire product, and this product is, there's so many other people who are pushing out products as well that are like with beats and, you know, are really good lyrics, but how are you going to come individually different? And I think that that's something that especially independent artists have to worry about most, because you have to establish the sound before you get an established sound. So yeah.
Right. Right.
So you also say in that song that this is, you basically alluded to this being your rookie year and that you're killing it. And I agree. So I think that this project solidifies your stance in New London culture as well as Connecticut culture. So talk about like your opinion on where the stance is both with New London culture and Connecticut culture.
That's huge. That's huge. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. New London culture, man, we cooking out here, man. That's all I can say about us. Like we really cooking out here. There's a lot of heavy hitters out here, man. I could definitely tell y'all that. There's a lot of heavy hitters out here. CT as a whole, we just I feel like all it takes is that one person from CT. That's it.
Yeah.
That one person to really, really break through. And I know there's been a few, but that real one person that could really break through, that's really connected with the people that, you know what I'm saying?
The gates with all the rest of the artists.
Right. It's gonna be a different vibe out there, man. Like, cause we're like a melting pot of everything out here. So it's weird. Like I can't even say that there's a specific sound, because I hear everything out here. But it sounds so New London.
You have people that kind of took that New York style and switched it up to like a New Haven type style or Bridgeport type style. Then you got people making drill music out of Bridgeport that is like fucking fire. Yeah. And then you got people that are making just swagged out music. You got the out of tune group. There's, like you said, you can't classify it. It's not like Connecticut music. It's like Atlanta where you got that one sound, or you you go to Chicago and you get the drill out of there. Like, no, you're gonna get a full package of every different type of hip hop / rap that you can think of. We have an artist for you, and we have a good artist for you. Not just like we have a decent artist. Like if you want an artist that's a boom bap rapper, I could tell you 2-3 names off the top of my head that have been fucking killing it like that. If you want somebody that
I honestly believe that we could take one artist from every town, right?
No.
And every artist could have a different genre from each town. One artist, right? We could put out a tape with the proper backing. I feel like if you know what I'm saying, with the proper backing, like this tape would go crazy.
You treat it like how they treated More Life, Drake's More Life, and call it a playlist, and then just like that, like just like the ones where you see like where you see an artist basically co-sign a bunch of artists, put them on a project, and say these are the artists that I handpicked. I like these guys. I chose beats for them. Here they are. So it kind of be like that, but it's like, here's what CT sounds like as a whole from all the different examples of what CT is.
Absolutely. And it's an amazing sound, man. Let me tell you that, man. There's a lot of hard workers out here, man, for real.
Bro, it's beautiful to see that there are people that, you know, are spending every night, late night, making a record, and the last record was fire, but they want to make the next one even better.
Right. And that's how it is. Every record comes out even better. Every record comes out even better. That makes you want to just, you know what, I want to put out 2 records today. Let me try and pen out 3 records today, you know, because it's that drive. Once you know that you could do it, you want to test your limits.
Exactly. And then you get the chemistry with the engineers and the producers. You start building that connection with them, and just all ends up working out.
Yeah. That's the real joy in it all.
Yeah, facts. All right, so then we have End It. So it seemed like you had a good story to go along with the inspiration of this song. So could you explain a little of how you this song arose?
I mean, I feel like every man has been in a situation where like you vibe with a girl, man, and you know that she got a man, but like you start feeling her. It's not even that you feeling her, but you just like the vibe that you have with that individual when it's your time with that individual. And you just wish that you could give that individual more, but you know that you can't give that individual more. It's like, it's a little conflicting, but everybody's been in that situation, you know? So that's all I can say about that one.
Okay. And then you got another one, A60 Mama. So how did that song come to fruition?
So that record was actually, so the tone and the vibe of the record was actually inspired by Lil Baby, Same Thing. Like I said, South by Southwest got canceled, but I still took that trip to Texas. And when I was out in Texas, I was listening to Lil Baby's album, like non-stop. And like, just Same Thing was just like a good vibe. You know, I had the drop top out there. I'm like, I'm listening to this song, like, yo, this is a good song where it's like, you know, like the ladies could rock with it, but I wanted it to be more than just the ladies rocking with it. I wanted the ladies from my area to really have something where it's just like, where they're proud, like, you know what I'm saying? Like almost like, you know, when Drake made the song with the, I forgot what the song was, but the video was like.
What? Was that what it was?
Yeah, the Nice for What, and it was, yeah, and the video with all the girls and this stuff. Like, I wanted girls to almost like be proud of that, like, you know, especially girls from Connecticut, like, because let's be honest, like, I have met very few girls from Connecticut that like enjoy to be from Connecticut. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, let's try to flip the page on that because, you know, honestly, like, and I know a lot of guys from Connecticut that will outsource for their women. And it's just like, you know, let's take a second. One, Connecticut's, you should be proud to be from here. You should be proud to be from here. This is where you're from. So that's where the whole title from A60 Mama came from. But then secondly, it's just like, you know what? Yeah, you know, like let's empower yourself with it. Empower yourself from where you're from. Like, you know, like I'm a A60 Mama. I could see like women saying that, you know, the song blows up, makes 20 million views or whatever, it goes crazy. You know, every woman from Connecticut, they're gonna, oh, I'm an A60 Mama. It's gonna be in there on their picture captions. It's gonna be in their bios, you know, and it's something that I wanted to like make them proud of. Like, you know what? I am that. So.
No, I fuck with that. It's great to see men actually trying to empower women. That's what we need nowadays, bro.
Yeah, man. And just make them proud of where they're from, man. Like, you know, like we actually have like a lot of beautiful, beautiful women in Connecticut from Connecticut. And it's just like, you know, like I said, like, let's just take a second. Like, let's make these women proud of where they're from.
Yo. Hell yeah, bro. That's dope.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to get into the outro, which was my personal favorite track. That's City High. So, like I said to you, this shit gave me chills, bro. It was, you know, I get that from very select songs. I could probably list off the amount of times that I've gotten chills on my hands listening. Like it was awesome. So your storytelling was what really stood out to me from the first second all the way to the end. You had the whole story lined out. It was just perfect. So it seems like you were telling this like you knew the people. Was this a fictional story or was this based off of true events that you've seen?
Not. I mean, it is based on true events I see. Growing up, and like this is everybody's seen this. Is it based off a true story? No, it's not based off a true story, but it's inspired by true events. And maybe I took an event from here and an event from here and an event from here and put it all together. But nonetheless, like, so there's two reasons why the song is called City High. Obviously, I referenced, What Would You Do, the song by City High. Secondly, City High, the content of what I'm talking about in the song is like, it's like a city high, like, people from the city that get high or whatever the case may be or whatever. Like, this is a story that sounds all too familiar. Like, people are way too familiar with something like this. And even though, there may be some extremes here and there, but yeah, man, that's one of my favorites too, man. Like, it's
All realistic. That's the thing. It can hit home. There's gonna be a part for like each person that
right.
listens to it. They're gonna be like, oh, I feel that because that's happened to me and my family.
Right. And there's so much within that song that happens. It's just like, it's like a roller coaster that never comes down. It's like it goes up, then it goes up, then it just keeps elevating. And you're like, whoa, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it's just like, wow.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. Would you like to go through the story, or do you want to leave that out? Let them know, or let them listen.
So I definitely want everyone to listen, of course. But basically, the story is about, it's not about a girl. It's more so about a little boy that grows up, all right? There's a family that's rich. They have it all from what the eye can see. The mom has a good job. The dad is in the streets. Things go left. The dad gets locked up for, the stuff that he's involved with in the streets. She has siblings, her older brother's in the gang, he gets locked up through with that. And just things that happen within the story, things just go bad, things go left. And ultimately there's a little boy that's born within the story. And he had to endure some things. It's just, yeah, you got to listen to it. I can't give too much out. I can't, because then that basically the song, because the song is the story. But yeah, but yeah, man, it's go listen to it. Everybody that's watching this, go listen to City High right now.
Hey, bet. Awesome. All right, so now we're gonna get into the outro questions. So these are just some ones to make you think. So the first one I have is, if you could collaborate with any artist and producer, dead or alive, who would they be and why on one track?
Definitely Pun, man. Pun, man. Big Pun. I would definitely work with him. Just cause it's like, I'm Puerto Rican, so it's like, like, we don't see too many of us. We see some of us, but we don't see too many of us, man. I would definitely love to go with him, and he's one of the greats. All the greats. I want to collaborate with everybody, man. I'm willing to work with everybody. I want to be as versatile as I can be. So all the greats.
Yeah. All right, bet. And who would your producer be on that Big Pun song?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive, yep.
Man, you want to know something real crazy?
Sure.
Man, I feel like a pre-crazy Kanye beat with me and Pun.
Interesting, yeah. Like graduation Kanye, or like?
Nah, like a little bit like Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but a little more like for me to bar out a little bit on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just like a Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but like I don't know, man. he might have to co-produce this, man. I don't know, man. But something, definitely something for me to float on.
That'd be interesting to hear a pun on a Kanye beat.
Yeah, man, definitely a Kanye sample, man. Those Kanye samples are crazy, yo.
That's the thing. The sample is what just blows everybody away, and that's what
Yo,
makes him the producer he is.
the samples go crazy.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's just a whole nother level when it comes to sampling. Only like people like No ID and people like that can really get up to that level of sampling.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so my next question to make you think, if you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say to the world and why?
Um, I would say the cops that killed Breonna Taylor are still free, man. That's a
Back
big
and
issue, man.
arrested.
They're still free, man.
It's just fucking wild.
That's it, man. They free. Like, they want more than 10 seconds. We got a whole interview, but if we got 10 seconds for the world, man, we gotta serve justice, man.
If just anything, just fucking arrest them.
Yeah.
That's all they have to do. I feel that completely. All right, so the next question is, what's some advice that you'd give someone starting their music career right now?
Right now, do it. Do it. Don't matter if it starts off slow, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Stay consistent with it. Just do it. It's not easy. You're gonna lose friends. There's people that you think are gonna be there for you are not gonna be there for you. But just do it. Just everything that comes with it, just do it. That's all I can say. Just do it.
Yeah, I agree completely. I was actually watching Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was talking to an artist about that. He was like, you could sit there and try to perfect this one SoundCloud song that you're really trying to work on, or you could just release it and work on the next one, and it's going to be better than the first one. And just keep doing that and staying consistent. And he said the same thing. Not going to be easy. You're going to have people who, aren't there for you when you need them, but, it's a learning process, and you got to keep going, keep moving. And if you keep doing it, you're going to make it.
It's not easy by any means, but it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy.
Yeah. All right. So what I have is what's next, but we obviously know the project's about to drop. It's going to be out when everybody sees this. So I'm going to just move on to the next question, where I ask, where do you see yourself and your career in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years? We'll start out with one.
So 1 year, I see me getting my feet wet in the actual industry. I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like 1 year, I definitely need to be getting my feet wet. I need to be having meetings. I need to be involved some way, somehow. I'm gonna be involved some way, somehow. Whether I gotta figure it out, I'm gonna figure it out. But a year from now, there'll be some industry moves being made.
That 5 years?
5 years, 5 years, the comparisons are gonna come. And I don't even mean as one of the best, but it's gonna be they're gonna be comparisons. They're gonna start seeing my potential. You know what I'm saying? There'll be some comparisons with some of the GOATs in 5 years.
Hell yeah. And then 10.
10 years.
Hard to even.
10 years debates. Now it's debates. 10 years I want there to be debates. We pass comparisons at this point. I'm gonna have to start debating, sitting at the round table.
Yep, at the barbershop, actually starting to talk, get into that discourse. Yeah.
Like that alone right there, barbershop talks right there.
Awesome. All right, so Do you have any more points you want to bring up or shout outs that you want to say before we end today's interview?
Man, shout out to Clark and everybody at the Breakthrough. Shout out to my team, THT. Shout out New London. Shout out the whole CT. Shout out everybody that worked hard on this Respect the Kruse with me, man. You guys are definitely appreciated, man. And everybody just keep grinding. The grind don't stop. I know this quarantine wants y'all to stop, but you got to find different ways to just keep it moving, keep it pushing, keep elevating. Do not stop progressing. Do not stop grinding. Everybody keep grinding. They don't want you to, they want you to stop. You can't stop. And that's all I got.
Straight facts. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That ends today's interview. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.